Hello guys, if you come across the keyword late, the modifier, you'll be asking yourself, what is this late? So in this video, I'm going to explain what is exactly late and when to use it. Okay, for that, actually, let's first let's create a class. It's called person. Then um, we will define a age equal 5. Okay, and we will define also a name, string name, and let's say we'll create one method called eat, which will just print eat. So if you notice here, okay, um, name name, we're having an error here. Okay, so why we are getting this error? If you read here, it's saying non-nullable instance field name must be initialized. So usually what you will do something like person this dot name, correct? And that will fix it. But what if you don't want to give the name at the time of initialization? You want to give it sometime later. Let's say um, like you have a method which you will call later, and what it will do, it will set the name. Okay, so in that case, you know that you will call this, so this will not be null. So you don't want also to make it like this, nullable. This, you like whenever you use user, always it will have a name. Okay, so you can use this modifier keyword late. That will tell Dart that whenever we access this, it will always have value. So whenever you come access this, if it will has value, it will work fine. But if it does not have value, app will crash. So you need to make sure to set the value whenever you are running, whenever before you accessing the name. So this is one case, and actually let's try that. Let's try to do that. Let's add person. Then let's try to actually print the name. What will happen? What do you think, guys? Let's try. Crashed. As I said, it's late, it's still not defined, so it will crash. But if we say person dot set what's the new name, I set the new name, then run again, it's given error. Okay, oh sorry, if you see here, it's shadowing the name, so it should be this dot name. Yeah, now let's run again. Yeah, now it's working fine. So the issue that crashed before, because name was, we are setting actually the name itself to itself like name, so you need to use this to refer to this one. But as you said, as I said, without new name, it will crash. But once you set name, it will not crash because it will have value. But before, we are telling Dart that this is late, will be initialized later, and we are assure you that this will have a value once we access it. Okay, this is one case where you can use late. When you don't want to make something an optional, you want to define it later, okay? But imagine now if I have let's say a new age, okay? Which is equal age plus, let's say, 1, like next year age, okay? So if you see here, you will get an error. Why? Like you're trying to access age, an instant member, before the whole class get initialized. Okay, so you can't do that. You can't access any variable before the class get initialized, because in some cases this could be still null okay? You didn't set the value. You're setting it in the constructor, let's say. So another way to do that is to lazily accessing this variable. So to lazily accessing this variable, which mean it will not get initialized new age unless until you try to access it. So you can add late for that. So okay, look right now. Right now, when you run the app, age will not be initialized. This part of the code will not be called until you explicitly say new age. Let's actually try to print in new age. In that way, until this point, this line, this still not initialized. But once you call it, then it will come and initialize that, and you see it's 6, so it's like 5 plus 1. If we remove late, we can't access any instance member of our class. But once we add it late, we can access it because this will not get called until initialized until you call it explicitly. So this is the two use cases of late. Okay, there's a third one that maybe you will come across. In some cases, let's add one thing. Let's say void get age, and let's say get age is a little bit like a complex operation. Okay, we are doing some like a lot of calculations which we think we don't want to do it once we create the object. Okay, we don't like, once we create the object, we don't want to do this complex operations. So if you try to do same thing in the new age, get the age, you can't do that because it's still an instance member. So what you can do, you can lazily initialize it, which is using late. If you see here, then it will work fine. So just to recap, there is like 3 use cases for that. One, when you know that something is not optional, you will always have value and you will initialize it later at some point of the time before using it. Then you can use late. Another one, but for that one, you need to be careful. The app will crash if this does not have value. So you need to make sure before using it, it should have value. The other case is when you want to lazily initialize a variable. If you are using some, if you have some complex code, which when you create the object, you don't want to run this, then you can add late. And if it's a member also, if it's like you're trying to access another member, then you need also to lazily initialize it, the new age. I hope guys you like it. Please subscribe and like the video, and if you want, you can share it on LinkedIn with your Dart and Flutter friends. Thank you very much.